From tabletop position, inhale, turn your right toes out to the side. Exhale, lift your knee, placing your heel down on the floor. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto your hips. Stretch your arms forward. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, lower your knee back to the mat. Inhale, turn your toes out to the side. Exhale, lift that right knee. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto your hips. Inhale, slowly rise up. And exhale, lower your knee back down to the mat. Once more, inhale, turn those right toes out to the side. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto your hips once more. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, lower your knee back down to tabletop position. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands and tuck your back toes. Inhale, sweep your arms up, and exhale, lift your back knee 90 degrees, finding a 90-degree bend in the right knee and in the left knee. Back heel is lifted. Inhale for length. Exhale, pivot onto the back toes, coming onto the heel, and open up your arms for goddess pose. Tuck the tailbone. Beautiful, sink down. Inhale, pivot back onto the back toes, turning forward for that 90-90 lunge. Exhale, pivot onto the toes once more for your goddess. Inhale, pivot forward, 90-90 lunge. Exhale, open up to goddess once more. Inhale, pivot forward to your 90-90 lunge. Exhale, frame your front foot and lower your back knee down to the mat. Keep those back toes tucked. Inhale, sweep your right foot behind you to hip level and flex your foot, pressing away from the wall. Inhale, press away from the mat and sweep your left arm forward, finding your bird dog. Inhale, reach your hand for your foot, tap. Exhale, reach forward and flex that right foot. Inhale, tap, hand to foot. Exhale, reach forward, flex. Once more, inhale, tap. Exhale, reach your hand forward. Lower your left hand down to the mat. Keep that back leg flexed. Tuck your right knee behind the left. And exhale, sit back for your rooted child, sitting back onto the hips, reaching your arms forward, maybe connecting your forehead to the earth. Open up those feet out wide, allowing you some more space. Deep breath here, deep breath out. Inhale, slowly rise back up and find your tabletop position. Inhale, press away from the mat. And exhale, release. Inhale, open up the left toes. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto your hips. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, lower your left knee down to the mat. And we repeat. Inhale, open up the toes. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto the hips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower the knee down to the mat. Last time. Inhale, open the left toes out. Exhale, lift the left knee. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, sit back onto the hips. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, lower your knee to the mat. Inhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Tuck the back toes. And inhale, sweep your arms up, lifting the back leg, but keeping it a nice bend, 90 degrees. Inhale for length. Exhale, pivot onto the back toes, lower the back heel, and sink down to your goddess pose. Cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, pivot onto the back toes, facing forward for your 90 lunge. Inhale for length. Exhale, pivot open to your goddess. Inhale, pivot onto the toes, 90 lunge. Exhale, open up to goddess. Inhale, pivot forward once more. And exhale, frame the front foot. Lower your back knee and keep your toes tucked. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you, finding hip level. Flex the foot and press away from the mat. Inhale, reach forward with your right arm this time, finding your bird dog. And exhale, tap knee, foot to hand. Inhale, reach your arm forward. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach your arm forward, flex that back foot. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach. Lower your hand to the mat. Keep that back leg lifted. And exhale, tuck your left knees behind the right. Open your feet out wide and sink back onto your hips for rooted child's. Take a moment here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, slowly rise back up. And exhale, lower your knee down to the mat for your tabletop position. Inhale, shift the weight into your hands, tuck the back toes, and lift your hips up and back, coming into your down dog. Press back into the hips, lower down the heels, and take a moment here, pedal out your feet, bending one knee at a time, making this really intentional, moving with intention. As we move the energy throughout the body, what might become stagnant energy in our calves, nice and easy. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, come on to the tippy toes. Exhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Finding hips width distance apart with your feet. You can slide 2 fists between your feet to find that perfect distance. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep your arms up to the sky for chair pose. We want the weight distributed in the heels of the foot. Toes are lifted. Tuck the tailbone. Nice and easy here. Inhale, onto the toes. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Inhale, onto the heels. Exhale, lower. Inhale, onto the heels once more. Exhale, lower. Step your left foot back behind the right, finding your high lunge. Inhale for length. Exhale, frame the foot, finding a low lunge here. Shift the weight into the left hand. Inhale, reach the right hand up to the sky for a low lunge twist. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lower your back foot to the outer edge and turn all 10 toes to the long side of the mat as you lower your hips down to the mat and reach your right arm behind you. Hip dips. Inhale, sweep your arm back up. Center in the mat, and then walk your hands over to the center as you come down for a side lunge, bending deep into that right hip, flexing the back foot, pulling the left toes up and back, reaching your toes towards you. Inhale, walk forward once more with your hands, shifting the weight into the left hand once more. Inhale, reach your arm up to the sky for your low lunge twist. Exhale, turn your toes to the long side of the mat and lower your hips down. Inhale, reach your arm up. Center of the mat, walk your hands inward. Lower down to that side lunge. Keep flexing the back foot, pulling the toes. Inhale, walk your hands forward. Once more, shifting into the left wrist. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, low lunge twist. Exhale, turning the toes open, lowering your hip down. Inhale, reach your arm up to the center of the mat. Walk your hands once more. Side lunge, flexing the foot. Beautiful. Inhale, walk your hands forward. And exhale, step your feet back to your high down dog, Take a moment here. Breathe it out. Maybe pedal out your feet once more. Releasing any tension here. Inhale onto the tippy toes. Exhale, walk to meet your hands. Take a moment here, find that hips width distance. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep your arms up to the sky, finding your chair pose. Remember that alignment from earlier. Inhale, lift the heels coming onto your toes, tiptoe chair. Exhale, lower. So strong, yogis. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Once more, stay with me. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Now step the right foot back, coming into your high lunge. 90-degree bend in that left knee. Right leg is long, back heel is lifted. Inhale for length. Exhale, frame the front foot, finding a low lunge twist. You might need to walk that front foot forward a little bit like I just did. Shift the weight into the right hand. Inhale, reach the left hand up to the sky, low lunge twist. Exhale, turning the toes to the long side of the mat. Lower your hips down, hip dips. Reaching your left arm back to the mat. Inhale, reach your arm up, sweep it over, and walk your hands to the center of the mat, finding your side lunge. Deep opening here in the left hip. Flexing the right foot, pulling the toes towards you. Inhale, walk your hands once more. Shifting the weight into the right wrist. Inhale, reach your left hand up to the sky. Exhale, turning your toes to the side of the mat. Lower your hips down. Inhale, reach your arm up once more and walk your hands over to the center of the mat. Sinking down into the left hip. Flexing the right foot. Inhale, walking your hands forward once more. Shifting the weight into the right hand. Inhale, reach the left hand up to the sky. Exhale, hip dips, last time. Turning the toes out. Inhale, back to center. And walk your hands to the center. Lowering down into that side lunge once more. Beautiful. Keep flexing the toes towards you. One more breath. Inhale, walk your hands forward and step your feet back to down dog.